since we put the RoboTrex system in, I've actually got to take some weekends off myself. This thing runs super consistent. So we load up the carts, pick them off, and we can just be gone all weekend. Come back in Monday morning to 1 or 2 carts full of finished parts. Definitely makes taking the weekend off a lot easier, for sure. My name is Brendan Hoag. I'm the owner of Apogee CNC. My wife and I started the company 4 years ago. Since then, my 3 sons have joined the team, and an additional 10 employees on top of that. So there's 15 of us total. We started over in Manchester in a small leased space of about 4,000 square feet initially. Within a year, we took on another 3,000 square feet. And at that point, we decided that we needed to start looking for a new building because we were running out of space in the building to rent. We found a building over here in Dexter, Michigan, and it is 12,000 square feet. We purchased it about a year ago and have completely renovated it. We currently have 9 machines. 4 of them are 5-axis CNC machines, and that's kind of our primary business. We do a fair amount of 5-axis work for mainly the aerospace and defense industry. We recently got our ISO 9001 certification, and we are working on our AS 9100. We're hoping to have that in the next few months. One of the things that separate us from our competition is our ability to turn around parts quickly. We have a few automation cells, and we have the ability to run parts lights out on several of our 5-axis machines. That gives us more capacity and quicker turnaround for the customer. I heard about Lang from a friend of mine. Shout out to KC Manufacturing, Kyle. He has a lot of the Lang Vises over there, and when I was starting this shop up, we were talking about how well he liked them. And I knew I needed to outfit several 5-axis machines and figure out kind of the best equipment out there. So we decided to test a few out, and it was great. So we just, kind of went all in. A year in, we found the RoboTrex in I think one of the flyers that was maybe sent out to us or dropped off to us. And I reached out to Brian and had a discussion with him about how it works, and if there was somewhere I could see it. We ran over in the morning, checked it out at IMTS, and kind of sold us on how well and how easy it worked. So we decided to move forward purchasing it. We purchased the RoboTrex with both the 96 millimeter vise cart and a 52 millimeter vise cart because we weren't sure exactly what we were running at. We do a lot of short run parts, so you never know if it's going to be a little bit larger or a little bit smaller parts, and I didn't want to be really stuck to one or the other. In doing that, it was a lot of fun trying to get that all figured out in the beginning, and it really has been a huge help for us on the mix of work we can do lights out. The machines that we have are 2 DVF 5000s, and initially I had bought just 1 DVF 5000 with the thoughts of adding a second one. And it was, I don't know, a couple months after we got it, I don't even know if it was a couple months after we got it running, I decided to buy a second one and get it installed. And it's been great. I mean, we've been running lots of parts, lights out over weekends. That's really the nice part. It was just getting the amount of hours. So a lot of the parts we do are, a couple hours a piece. If we can load them up on a Friday and let them run all weekend, then that's hours you wouldn't normally capture. When we initially thought about purchasing this RoboTrex, I spoke to Brian about it, who put us in touch with Metalcraft Automation, and they helped us kind of figure out how we wanted the layout, what made sense if we were going to put 2 5-axis machines together, and then trying to fit it in our space that we have, and working around some of the building structure that we didn't have an option to move. working with those guys was great. With their ability to, test it in a virtual software world, knowing that it'll work within that footprint was really helpful for us, that we had confidence that it was going to work once it got installed on the floor. And with us doing one machine first and bringing a second one in a couple months later, that was really important, because last thing you want to do is have to move 2 CNC machines and a whole robot itself because you missed it by a couple inches. When Metalcraft come in to do the installation, it was pretty smooth. They shipped in their tooling, everything they needed to do it. Once it was installed, the training that we received was great and almost not necessary. The system was so easy to use. Over time, we've had them add a couple things that worked better for us, and they were able to just get right in there, even remotely, and add some features. We were working with Joey on a lot of the program changes, and he has done fantastic the whole time. Anytime we have any issue, which has only really been a couple times, and I think both of them had something to do with what we did, he's been able to remote in, take a look at the system, figure out what it is that needed to be changed, and get us back up and going pretty quickly. We have 120 tools in each one of these 5-axis machines, and the tools in each machines are identical. So we're set up to be able to just run in whichever machine is ready to go. With the macro grip stamping system, we're able to stamp our material, and it gives us great confidence that, some of these bigger blocks that we do are going to actually stay in the vise throughout the weekend when we're doing this lights out. Last thing you want to see is come in and you have a part pulled up at a 45-degree angle or something. So that's been a very kind of nerve calming effect having this equipment. Having the digital twin post in our Hypermill software allows us to have confidence in the machine that it's going to do what we expect it to do. And with the Lang Vises in there, we do all of our programming from bottom of parts, and that allows us to just load them up in the carts, to be confident in our ability to run. Being able to capture the hours in the evening and the hours on the weekend without having to try to staff those shifts where, it's almost impossible to find anybody that wants to work those shifts with the skill we need to run these machines. So putting this in place really gave us the ability to increase our volume and our throughput without adding additional CNC machines. And that's been a really important part to keeping our customers happy. We used to, get maybe a couple hours after shift ended, somebody would pick something up when they walked out the door. And now, we're gaining probably 10 to 12 hours a day on both of these spindles. It's been a game changer for us.